and welcome to Storyboard. I'm Shibani Gharat. Broom or groom? Chawal or chawla? Over the past few weeks, Swiggy Instamart is grabbing eyeballs with their playful yet memorable films. With this series, Swiggy Instamart is also highlighting the brand's core message. You name it, we will get it, and that too delivered within 10 minutes. To tell us more about these campaigns, how they were created, what makes them tick, and what will we get to see going forward in the festival season, we are joined in by Mayur Hola, VP of Marketing Swiggy, along with Moonshot's Devaya Bopanna. Let's begin to speak about these campaigns. These campaigns, Devaya, have been a rage over the past few weeks. What was the brief that you got from the client when you decided to come up with this idea of doing a spelling mistake while typing whatever you want to order from Swiggy Instamart?
Well, I mean, credit to Mayur and the team. The brief was very clear. Like they want to index on get anything in 10 minutes. And for us, I think, this whole category has been crazy, right? Like when you talk about this category to anyone abroad, it's unbelievable. What we've begun to take for granted now, that you get anything in 10 minutes. So, when the team, we heard it, we were like, okay, like how do we attack this problem? And we thought, like, how is anyone pulling this off? Like, how can anything be delivered in 10 minutes? So we started escalating that, basically. Like, is there, like, someone in disguise under your apartment block, like, waiting to hear something, someone wants something and brings it out? And then that's when I think we hit upon this idea of, like, okay, what if they're literally at all times looking at the search box? And even if you make a mistake, they're trying to get that for you. So I think we hit upon that. And then it was just having fun with it.
Mayur, what was your first reaction when you saw, some of the films, the first one, The Broom and the Groom?
Yeah, no, look, first off, these guys are crazy. So my reaction to whatever they do is, like, seriously, we laugh our heads off and we're like, okay, what did we laugh on the hardest? It's the choice like becomes very simple. Say, okay, we laughed the hardest on this one. So yeah, let's go for it. It's really as simple as that. And we actually were at one point thinking, hey, let's go with Chawla as the first one we put out there and so on. But then when we saw Groom, I think Groom was just so nice and so layered. We felt, it had so many little subplots going on. The whole Bengali wedding, with the headgear, so to speak, and it had little nuances which just made it really, really funny. So yeah, I was kind of I spoke to Devaya and I spoke and okay, let's get this out first. Because you know what, it's really funny.
Yeah, and Mayur, sticking with you, we all know it's very, very difficult to write humor, and especially these days, where anyone and everyone has something or the other to say on social media platform. So, or could offend somebody or the other. So, tell me, is there a guideline or something that you have in place when you come up or, approve of something edgy, something crazy, as you mentioned?
Very, very tricky question, but yeah, simple guideline. We try not mess with, obviously, religious sentiment. It's not something that we're happy doing. Politics. And we try and just make sure that we're doing right by the folks that we're addressing, not being condescending, not being offensive. But in general, honestly, we tread a pretty thin line, I think, because we are constantly trying to push. We operate in a very competitive category. Devaya mentioned it's going crazy. It's going crazy in more ways than one, frankly, with the number of brands operating in it. So yeah, I think the fight for hearts and as such minds is getting tougher and tougher. So it's a balancing act.
So Devaya, sharp, unapologetic humor has been your style. We have seen it, in the Cred films. We have seen it with Neeraj Chopra's Javelin Prem Katha. How do you get the client on board? What is the process there?
See, I think...
with some of your crazy ideas.
No, I think, see, look, the clients are super smart, all right? So you can't fool them, about something that's not working by telling them, like, hey, this is working. See, we are kids of the internet. We've been creating content, like we were working, we were making content at AIB before. So that's where we kind of understood like, the science of virality and like what works, where we would sort of write stuff for, not for views, but for engagement. Like how do you move people to comment or to share, right? So, so I think we over a period of time also have had the sense, like, because we are living on the internet, we know what it is to push too much, right? We know the breaking point.
Yeah.
So we, I think, pretty much have internal guardrails where we know if we are going wrong somewhere, we get a sense of it first. So we kind of hold back over there. And so far, I think our judgment has been good with these things. But how do we sell it to clients? I feel with every passing campaign, if the work is getting better, I think the trust on the other side also increases.
Yeah.
So probably till we mess something up, I think we will have a good sort of leeway with the clients when we have to sell something crazy.
And then how do you get the celebs on board? I mean, if I look at the Juhi Chawla film for Swiggy Instamart, she is completely overshadowed by like the story about, this person ordering chawal and instant types chawla, or Neeraj Chopra for that matter, or Indira Nagar ka Gunda with Rahul Dravid.
Yeah, I think, look, even the celebs understand content and they love what's happening on the internet these days, right? So I'm sure all of them read all the memes, they go through everything, they also find it very funny. So for them, it's like addressing the meme, or wanting to be a part of something that is edgy, cool. Like, who doesn't want to be cool for a day on the internet, right? So I think the celebs get the game now. So they are also like pretty okay with slightly pushing the boundary on taking a joke on themselves. So most of the times we've not had a tough job sort of explaining to them or dumbing it down. It happens at times, but it's been decent so far because they get it.
Mayur, over to you. We saw, the tie-up that you did with Falguni Phatak around Navratri. She is the Navratri queen. We all know that. And we are sitting in the Navratri week. Tell us, what else do we expect from Swiggy Instamart around the festival season?
We have Falguni. We almost don't have Falguni, do we, in what we're running, given that Falguni is really only visible to us a lot more during these 9 days. And that's really what we've done. During Diwali and that period, we hopefully will have something fun again with someone that we all know and love. And yeah, look forward to that happening a little later in the year.
We all know that, the whole Q-commerce battle for supremacy is heating up in our country. So it is one of the hottest that we have seen in Indian businesses over the past couple of years. So what, according to you, where do you get an upper hand or an edge over your competitors?
The basics of having what people want available to them, and then delivered to them in the shortest possible time, 10 minutes or less. Thereafter, of course, comes presence. The wider your presence, the more chances of you gaining more and more customers, and as such, market share. And I think down from there comes the battle of the brands. And as I said, with so many brands fighting for your attention, I think that's where we kick in with us doing what we're doing with Falguni, with Rakhi Sawant earlier, and what we might do later in this month, and what we do with madcaps like Dev, Puneet, and the Moonshot team.
Great. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you, Devaya, for joining us in the studio. It is time for a short break. On the other side, we are catching with Jamie Selzer, Global EVP, CSA and MX Analytics, where she speaks about launching CSA in India, the importance of data-driven marketing, plans for the India market, and more. Welcome back. In a strategic move, the global advertising holding company Havas launched CSA, its technology, data and analytics division in India. To further solidify the agency's data and tech capabilities, Pivot Consult, the strategic consulting arm of Pivot Roots, has been merged into CSA India. We caught up with Jamie Seltzer, Global EVP CSA and MX Analytics, to learn more about their plans for CSA in India and how to empower brands to meaningfully activate customer data and drive business growth.
Hello and welcome to Storyboard 18. Jamie, it's a pleasure to have you here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Data is, as they say, the new oil. There is so much happening and we are seeing a deluge of data. Now, against this backdrop, Jamie, tell me a little bit about the decision and what drove you and the network to bring CSA to India and merge it with Pivot Consult.
CSA is a network launched about 18 months ago, June 2023, and really with the idea that we've had pockets of capabilities, really strong capabilities in different markets. And we really wanted to bring them together to make sure that our clients and our prospective clients could take advantage of the full network effect of data analytics and technology capabilities. And so as we've done that, we started with 12 markets and we've been continually launching markets since then. And really, it was a very exciting time to come into India because the market here has evolved so much. I mean, CSA and Havas in India has evolved so much over the years. Havas has grown, I think, exponentially over the last 3 years. And the client base is expecting more from us everywhere, especially in India. Consumers are expecting more personalization, more from a relationship with brands. Brands are trying to get more understanding of consumer behavior, understanding of their marketing impacts and things like that. And honestly, the talent base that we have here is so strong that when we acquired Pivot Roots and Pivot Consult about a year ago, it was the natural fit to be able to launch CSA here and really take advantage of the skills and the capabilities that they brought into the network, the capabilities we already had within Havas in India, really merge them together to create kind of a super group that empowers our media side, our creative side, and even external clients with the data and tech and analytics expertise that they have in-house.
But what kind of potential do you see in the India market for a brand like CSA?
Consumers' behavior is changing here. Consumer behavior, was really expecting greater relevancy when it comes to their advertising. They want also to make sure that what they're exchanging, the data they're exchanging online, is kept safe, is kept private, and also, from a brand perspective, they really want to understand the effectiveness and create better communications, better media experiences for consumers. I think consumers' thresholds are getting higher for bad experiences online, and brands really recognize that. And the way to create a strong media experience is truly about powering that with technology, analytics, data capabilities, and not just data for data's sake, but data with the end result of creating that better experience, creating that better customer journey that ultimately leads to, increased sales for our clients and increased revenue.
We spoke about the data deluge. We know that there is a lot of confusion. There is, of course, a lot of redundancy in the tech stacks. What are clients looking for today, and what are the real need gaps? Where are the gaps in their stacks?
Yep. So interestingly, there was a study done about a year and a half, 2 years ago that's of CMOs, and it was global CMOs. 67% of global CMOs believe they're overwhelmed with data, the amount of data, the number of things they can do with it. And that's really, I think, representative of kind of the general feeling. You talk about a deluge of data. There's so much out there, and you can almost get in this sort of, call it analysis paralysis. You get in this kind of state where you're overwhelmed by it all. And honestly, what CSA can do is come in and help sort through that complexity and kind of make that overwhelming a bit more manageable. But oftentimes they come and they say, we just don't know where to begin. We know we need to be doing more. We know that the cookie is going away or starting to go away and will continue to decrease. What do we need to do to prepare? And so part of what we like to do is really take that consultative approach where we come in and say, where do you want your business to go? How do you want to drive your business forward? And then let's back into how do we solve those challenges using technology, using data, using analytics. I think we're seeing clients look for optionality in many cases. We see tech stacks and we see, different components and I think ultimately where we are, the industry is changing so much that we're looking for optionality for clients so that they can be more agile and flexible no matter where the industry takes us.
How have brands and marketers' relationships with platforms changed, say, in the past?
You know, I think we had the sort of this idea in digital especially that there was this holy grail of everything is measurable. Everything can be tracked and measured, and we can track every impression back to a conversion, and ultimately we know perfectly how well every single thing worked. And I don't think we never even got there while we still had third-party cookies. When they started to scale back on cookies and identity, you know, and became kind of more sparse, brands started moving into platforms that could tell them that. And that's why, you know, you see more money shifting into Google, into Meta, into Amazon, and into other trading platforms that are more measurable. I think now the pendulum is swinging back a little bit, and we're getting into more conversations about interoperability. We're seeing some of those walled gardens and hedge gardens allow for data in and out a bit more. With the creation of things like clean rooms, we're able to have sort of safe spaces for data to be to mesh together and work together without, you know, companies losing control of that. So ultimately, I think, you know, the engagement kind of from brands to platforms sort of swung in an extreme direction towards kind of, you know, siloed nature, and then it's slowly kind of shifting back to the middle. I wouldn't say we're never going to get back to the place, or we're never going to get to the place where everything is measurable and everything can be attributed, but I think we're slowly getting back to a better place. But I think it also highlights the evolution in measurement and how we've been evolving measurement, and we need to continue to evolve measurement for clients, because that's a key piece that I think nobody has cracked to date, period.
It is time for a short break. On the other side, we have Aishin Chihana, Chairman, Yamaha Motor India Group, who's speaking to us about 40 years of Yamaha in the country and launching their campaign, Call of the Blue. Welcome back. Carrying forward the momentum of the previous versions of the Call of the Blue campaigns, Yamaha Motor has launched version 4 of its flagship brand campaign, reinforcing its premium positioning in the Indian two-wheeler market. On the sidelines of this campaign launch, we caught up with Aishin Chihana, Chairman, Yamaha Motor India Group, and he spoke about 40 years of Yamaha in India. How has Yamaha's strategy and vision for the India market evolved over the past 40 years? How has the Indian two-wheeler market changed over the years? What are the key investments we expect from the company going forward, and much more? Listen in. 40 years of Yamaha Motor in India. Tell us more, what have been some of the milestones in this 40-year journey?
The Yamaha started the operation from 1985, that is first period. Then, as many of customers in India might remember, we started from RD350 and RX100 production through the joint venture from 1985. Then 1996, middle of 1990, really RX100 became the phenomenon among the riders in India. Yeah. Then performance image of Yamaha spread. Then after that, the age into the four-stroke age. Then middle of 2008, we launched R15, iconic R15 and legendary FZ15. Since then, again, we reinforced the performance image.
Sure.
Then from 2013, we expanded our product lineup into the scooter range. Then from 2018, we have started the new premium strategy with the Call of the Blue campaign. So far until now, we continue that.
Yeah. And Call of the Blue, as we speak, you're launching a new version, a new edition of the Call of the Blue campaign. Since 2018 to now, tell us, how has the campaign evolved and how does it reflect what the consumers want today?
Yes. The concept of the Call of the Blue is always, people remember, Indian audience remember in the image of the Yamaha, performance image and blue. So recalling the blue image of Yamaha, the performance image that many people saw in their young time or kids time, then we are asking them to, okay, now it's time to recall this calling of the blue.
Yeah. And how has the perception of, brand Yamaha changed in the mind of the consumer of the today, especially the younger generation? And how are you trying to make that connection with this Call of the Blue?
Yes. Call of the Blue is really, in our company after 2018, we have shifted to the premium strategy. The premium is not only simple like a premium, expensive kind of things. Rather, we are trying to appeal more on the emotions of the customers. Then from 2018, we set our vision. Then we set our core competency as excitement, stylish, and sporty. So from 2018 onwards, based upon our premium strategy, we have been trying to deliver this core competency of excitement of Yamaha, stylish of Yamaha, sportiness of Yamaha. That is our concept behind it.
And, being in this market for the last 40 years, tell us, some of the insights of the Indian two-wheeler market. How has that market, how has it evolved? It's exploding. We are seeing how so many consumers around us are, more on bikes these days. The number of bikes on the roads have also increased, and you can easily see that as, you're driving through the roads. So tell us more. Give us an insight on the Indian two-wheeler market.
Indian two-wheeler, definitely. Indian two-wheeler market is the world's biggest two-wheeler market of the world. So last year in India, over 17 million units of motorcycle two-wheelers has been sold. Then this year, definitely it will be overpassing 18 million or even reaching to the 19 million units. That is enormously huge. Then among those, this demand will be growing, has been growing, and then will be growing. Then interestingly, with this huge demand, in the past, okay, let's think about the motorcycle or scooter in India was being used for just a simple means of transportation. But for the last, 7, 8, 10 years, some phenomena, growing tendency of especially youngsters prefer to purchase or select motorcycle to showcase their lifestyle. So this is synchronizing with Yamaha's value of this excitement, stylish, sporty. Then definitely, so this tendency has been growing and will be growing. So Yamaha is riding this.
Having crossed 40 now, what are your big plans for the next decade, for the next 10 years for Yamaha in the country?
Big question and a good question. We have two missions. Indian domestic market, we will continue to establish our strong brand, then increase our presence. Then on the other hand, we are aiming to become the global hub factory for the export to the overseas. Definitely, I believe, and I'm 100% sure that our made in India two-wheeler can be more marketable in many areas of not only emerging market, but also Europe or Japan or United States, of those kind of advanced market. So especially for the motorcycle type of premium models, small displacement to the middle displacement can be the, maybe in future, we will produce in here, they export more to those advanced countries market. Yes.
Great. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us for this conversation.
My pleasure.
With that, it's a wrap on Storyboard this week. You can catch all of our content on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Thanks for watching. We will be back same time next week. See you soon.